Let's learn how to knit the swing into spring shawl. For this shawl, you only need 2 colors of fingering weight yarn, a main color and a contrast color, 100 grams each. So any type of sock yarn or those super soft merino fingering weight yarns will work for the shawl. You could use a variegated or speckled yarn for one of the colors if you want, along with a solid, or for a really crisp stripe, then get 2 solid yarns to get that crisp stripe effect and the little eyelet polka dots. So to begin, use your main color, and you will need a long circular needle as well, and about a US 4 or 3.5 millimeter needle gauge, but make sure you use a needle size that you like best for the fabric. This shawl is really easy to customize if you bind off a little bit early, or you could knit a few extra rows at the end, so make sure that you like your fabric as you begin the shawl. For me, I used a US 4, 3.5 millimeter circular needle, main color, contrast color. Let's cast on. Using main color, cast on 3 stitches using any cast on method you like. I'm going to use the long tail cast on, and I'm going to twist like this for my first stitch and get 2 more stitches. Knit 3, slip 3 stitches onto left needle. Knit the 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Slip them onto the left needle. Repeat from the asterisk twice more. Knit 3. And slip 3. That was once. Knit 3. And slip 3. Knit 3, pick up and knit 3 stitches along I-cord edge. This is the I-cord edge. When you pick up stitches, you can go into both legs of an I-cord stitch to get 1, 2, and 3. If you hold the yarn in your right hand, then insert the needle to pick up a stitch, wrap the yarn around and pull it through. You should now have 6 stitches. Turn to work wrong side. Next row, wrong side, pick up and knit 3 stitches along I-cord edge. So along this I-cord cast on edge right here, we're going to get 3 stitches. You can get any 3 strands of yarn along that cast on edge. 1. Here's a strand of yarn. 2. And get 1 more stitch. It can be anything you can pick up at that little edge. And 3. Knit 3. 1, 2, 3. And slip 3 with yarn in front. So bring the yarn forward and slip the last 3 stitches purlwise with yarn in front. Row 1, right side. Knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over. Knit 1, make 1 twice. Knit 1. Make 1 with the backwards loop cast on method. Once, and knit 1, make 1. If you hold the yarn in your right hand, whenever you do that make 1 technique, just twist the yarn like this and place it onto the needle. Do you see how you get this little, it's kind of like an E letter shape? That's a make 1 with a backwards loop cast on. Knit 1, yarn over, slip 3 with yarn in front. So when you do that yarn over, you also need to bring the yarn forward to slip those last 3 stitches. So yarn over, bring the yarn forward so you can slip those last 3 stitches with yarn in front. Row 2, wrong side, knit 10, one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Always slip the last 3 stitches with yarn in front. The yarn is forward and slip 3. Row 3 works with the contrast color. I'm going to use my lighter color for the contrast color. Row 3, right side, knit 3. Just start working with that new color, and you can leave a little tail of yarn like this at the beginning of your row. As you knit 3, and then yarn over, yarn around the needle, knit 1, make 1 twice. Or sorry, yarn over and knit 7. So after you do the knit 3, yarn over, knit 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then a yarn over, bring the yarn forward to slip 3 with yarn in front. This is what the end of row 3 should look like. You should have 15 stitches on your needle. Row 4, wrong side. We're going to do an eyelet row on row 4 with some little yarn overs. Knit 3, knit 2 together, yarn over to last 4 stitches. So knit 2 stitches together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over. When you're at the last 4 stitches, just knit 1 and slip the last 3 with yarn in front. You should still have 15 stitches at the end of row 4, wrong side. Turn to work row 5, right side. We're going to carry the yarns along the edge as you stripe the colors. So what that means is we're done with that contrast color. Just place it to the left and bring the main color up from below, because we're going to work with the main color for row 5. That's all there is to it. Just drop the color you worked with, bring the next color up, and row 5 using main color, knit 3, yarn over, knit 1, make 1 8 times. Knit 1, make 1, that was once. Knit 1, make 1, that's twice. 3 times, 4 times, 5, and 6. I'll show you English style knitters. This is the 7th time to do the knit 1, make 1. And this is the 8th time. Knit 1, make 1. And then knit 1, yarn over, and bring the yarn forward to slip those last 3 with yarn in front. You're doing a bigger motion with that final yarn over. You should have 25 stitches on your needle. Row 6, knit 22, slip 3 with yarn in front. Knitting 22 stitches. Basically just knit until you reach the last 3 stitches of the row. When you reach the end of the row, You're knitting 22. The last stitch you knit should be that yarn over from the previous row, and then you're ready to slip the last 3 with yarn in front. That's the end of row 6. Row 7, right side, we're going to work with the contrast color. So drop that main color to the left, bring the contrast color up from below. Row 7, right side, using contrast color, knit 3, yarn over, knit to last 3 stitches. Once you reach the final 3 stitches of row 7, work a yarn over and bring it in front to slip the last 3 stitches. Oops, I think I need to knit 1 more stitch. Ooh, see, I have 4 stitches there. So make sure you knit, there we go. And now you have 3 stitches at the end. Then do the yarn over, bring the yarn forward, slip the last 3 with yarn in front. Let's work another knit 2 together yarn over row on the wrong side. Every time you work with a contrast color, you'll be seeing knit 2 together yarn over on the wrong side. Row 8, wrong side, knit 3, knit 2 together yarn over. If it's ever hard to do that knit 2 together, you can loosen the stitches first, like this, so that it's easier to go into both of those. Knit 2 together, yarn over, to last 4 stitches. Knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, 1 more time, knit 2 together, yarn over, and then knit 1, slip the last 3 with yarn in front. And that's the completed row 8. Keep on following the instructions closely, working rows 9 through 12. That's a pattern repeat. You'll be working a garter ridge with the main color, knitting on the front and back, and with the contrast color, you're knitting on the front and doing that knit 2 together yarn over on the back. So follow your pattern closely and you'll get these beautiful little yarn over stripes that look like this. Once you've completed all of the rows of your swing into spring shawl, you're going to break the contrast color and bind off with the main color. So if you're running out of yarn or you think you might not have enough for the bind off, you can stop your rows earlier and you can skip ahead to the bind off after completing any contrast color row. Also, if you want to make the shawl larger, if you have another color or more yarn, you could work the repeats of rows 9 through 12 more times to create a larger shawl. So whenever you're ready to bind off, we'll do that with the main color with a Picot bind off. So these are the finishing instructions. Picot bind off, knit 2 together through the back loop, slip stitch onto the left needle. We're going to do that 3 times. This is the second time, and this is the third time. Now cast on 3 stitches using the cable cast on method. Insert the right needle between these 2 stitches, wrap the yarn around and pull it through, place it on the left needle. That was once, this is twice, and if you hold the yarn in your right hand, insert the right needle between the first 2 stitches, wrap the yarn around and pull it through, place it on the needle. We had our original stitch and we cast on 1, 2, 3 stitches. Now knit 2 together through the back loop. Slip the stitch onto the left needle. we're going to do that 6 times. This is the second time. This is the third time. Slip the stitch onto the left needle for the 4th time. And do you see how I'm not taking my right needle all the way out? You can just whoop, get that next stitch, knit 2 together through the back loop. That was the 5th time, and this is the 6th time. So that was binding off 6 stitches, making this little picot, and then we bound off some more stitches. Repeat from asterisk until all stitches are bound off. So you're gonna cast on 3, bind off 6. Cast on 3, bind off 6 until you run out of stitches. Casting on 3, bind off 6. 1. Oh, did I cast on 3? I think I only cast it on 2. Let me go back. Oop. That was 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. Cast on 3, bind off 6. So bind off 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. So keep on going to make these little picots for the bind off until you can't anymore. As you reach the end, if you do that final picot, the cast on 3, just keep on binding off stitches at the end of the row once you reach the end. So if you just have 1 more stitch left, just follow the pattern repeat, but if you just have 1 or 2 stitches at the end, just bind them off and you'll have these little dots that decorate the border of your shawl. Well, those are all the techniques you need to know to knit the swing into spring shawl. If you haven't downloaded the pattern yet, you can get it on Ravelry or at Westknits.com, and it's a really quick, fun little shawl to knit. So once you make it, you could knit it again and again with different types of color combos, and if you want to spice it up with even more colors, you could make it your own. That's what my patterns are all about. So I hope you enjoy this little swing into spring small shawl. And if you want to try some of my other patterns, some get more involved with slip stitches and modular construction. You can check all of those out on Ravelry or Westknits.com. I think the next level up from the swing into spring shawl, you could knit the curvette shawl. It's a bit bigger with some mohair, polka dot eyelet stripes in the curvette shawl. And if you want to get a little fancier, you could try the exploration station or dotted rays. Those are really fun next shawls to knit after the swing into spring shawl. A really similar beginning and construction, but you'll be doing some short rows and learning some different stitch patterns with those designs. So check out all those patterns and I'll see you in the next tutorial.